William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We are here at the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Board meeting, the agency known as DART to Dallas, Texas residents. As a service to the Dallas community, we plan to cover DART board meetings from gavel to gavel. Public comments are required to keep DART board aware of issues close to the ridership that they may not get through other resources.
Good evening. It is 6:30 on Tuesday, May 12th, 2015, and this Board of Directors meeting of the Dallas Area Rapid Transit is called to order. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes of the prior meeting. Any objections, corrections, additions? The minutes are entered ordered into the records as presented. First order of business is the appointment of Rick Stouffer. Mr. Slagle, would you make that?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, I would move to appoint, if I can find it here, to appoint Regional Right-of-Way Committee Board Member vacancy, which would be filled by Mr. Rick Stouffer. I would make that motion. Second.
All those in favor signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. And our next order of business is public comments. We have 3 registered speakers before the meeting and 1 for after the meeting. Our Vice Chair, Ms. Wilkins, will read the public comments introduction.
Okay, public comments. General public comments will be allowed at the beginning of each DART board meeting for a total of 30 minutes, and again at the end of the meeting when the 30-minute period does not accommodate all persons who have signed up to speak. Individuals who have addressed the board in the past 30 days will be recognized to speak during the comment period at the end of the meeting. During the public comment period, board members may not interact with the speakers or other board members by asking questions or offering their own comments. Members of the public are reminded that their behavior during DART board meetings is governed by the DART Board Code of Conduct for citizens, news media, and visitors. Personal attacks, impertinent and slanderous remarks, and boisterous conduct will not be allowed. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. The green light on the podium will indicate that you can begin speaking. The yellow light indicates that you have 1 minute remaining, and the red light indicates that your time has expired.
Thank you, Ms. Wilkins. Our first speaker is Ms. Andrea Parton. Hello.
Hello. I was here because I know that some of you may know about the recent incident that took place at the West End station, where Olinka Green was brutally assaulted by a DART police officer. And I just wanted to say that I have personally talked to Olinka Green, as well as several other people who were close to her, and I do not believe that she did anything wrong that warranted the conduct of the DART police officers. I think that the DART police officers used excessive force against her, and I strongly urge all of you to investigate this matter thoroughly, and to suitably reprimand the officers involved if your investigation reveals misconduct on their part. And Olinka Green is facing criminal charges for assaulting a DART police officer, and I also urge you to have those charges thoroughly investigated, and unless there is strong merit for the charges, I would suggest that you seek to have them dropped. And I would also suggest that you implement some form of training for your DART police officers to prevent an incident like this from happening again. Thank you for giving me this time to make my comments.
Thank you for coming, Ms. Parton. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Ms. Pamela Curry, followed by Mr. Daniel Sullivan.
Good evening. I've spoken to you many times before, and with regard to what you just heard about, I've had many incidents with the Dallas DART PD. I've had incidents where they have accused me of being a prostitute, and in response, I've had to constantly carry with me in my bag my appointment papers from the Dallas County Commissioner's Court as a Dallas County election judge, which for the last 3 years I have served at the George Allen Courts building. Just a little over a year ago, I spoke to you about an incident with an on-call operator, and she used DART PD to pull me off that bus inappropriately. And it was found after investigation by the on-call and paratransit contractor that it was indeed done improperly and that I was wrongfully removed from those buses. The systemic discrimination at DART against the LGBT community, especially the transgender community, goes back to when I first started speaking to you several years ago, when you actually went into a family court to have the gender marker correction of one of your own operators vacated. This is evidence of systemic discrimination, and it must stop.
Mr. Daniel Sullivan?
Thank you.
Thank you.
On April 30th, Olinka Green, the 2013 Dallas Peace Center Peacemaker of the Year, was assaulted by DART police at West End Station. She sustained nerve damage, she was maced, and she was heavily bruised. She's a 45-year-old woman, and she's now, quite incredibly, charged with assaulting 2 DART police officers. I know that the people on this board work for purely nominal compensation. I know that all of you are here as a service to the community, and I know that it must be much easier to leave DART police to do their thing, but DART police are out of hand, and it's time that they are hauled up short. Anyone who has spent time at West End Station knows what I'm talking about. Anyone that has spent time at West End Station has seen the way that DART police treat people, particularly people of color, in an arbitrary and demeaning manner over and over again. And if you don't believe me, go down there on a Friday evening right by that McDonald's and sit there for an hour and you will see. The country is changing. There's a movement afoot. There's a movement here in Dallas, and all of you are aware of it. And if you do not do something to correct the very serious problem of DART police, the target of that movement, and this is not a threat because it's not in my control, but in a point of analysis, it is only a matter of time before that movement turns towards DART, and you all find yourself repeatedly exposed to an awful lot of extremely unfavorable publicity. I think that you should act. I understand, again, that it must be much easier to let the DART police do their own thing, but that isn't working because what the DART police are doing is wrong, wrong, wrong. Thank you.
Mr. Sullivan, thank you for your comments. Item number 4 on the agenda, Mr. Adams.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Excuse me, item 4 is moving around. Approval of contract for printing of DART bus rail customer timetables. This was approved by the Revenue and Public Relations Committee and by the Committee of the Whole, and I move approval.
All those in favor signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. That's approved. That item is approved. Ms. Carazales?
Yes, Chairman. Items 5, 6, 7, and 8 are 4 items that came to Operation Safety Security Committee and were approved and are here for final approval tonight. If there's no opposition from anyone on the board, I would ask these be voted on together. Item 5, contract award for trash pickup and disposal services. Item number 6, contract award for roof replacement at Senate Street. Item number 7, amendment of DART board policy 3.12 DART clean fleet vehicle policy. And item 8, contract award for consulting service for asset and project management systems. I would ask that they be finally approved tonight by this board.
All those in favor signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, say no. That motion carries. Ms. Wilkins, item 9 is from your committee.
Yes, sir. Item number 9 is for the approval and execution of a lease agreement with Edward Bowman Clothiers for DART's property located at 4801 Arapahoe Road in Addison, Texas, and I move that we approve this item.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no.
Opposed, no.
Yes.
No.
2?
3 noes.
Who's the third? 1, 2, 3. Okay. That motion is approved. Mr. Adams, the next item. Mr. Adams.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Item 10 is adoption of President and Executive Director's fiscal year 2016 goals and performance measures approved unanimously by the Executive Compensation Committee and by the Committee of the Whole, and I move approval.
All those in favor, please signify so by saying yes. Yes. All those opposed, say no. That motion carries. We have one further speaker, Mr. Sheridan.
Good evening. Rich Sheridan, 11301 Dennis Road, Dallas, Texas. 3 items. Kudos to a DART driver. Let's start off with something positive. The DART bus arrival time, IT's dysfunction, and then the May 24th Justice of the Peace hearing, Sheridan versus DART. Number 1, well, before I begin, I want to add I've had very good interaction with Mark Ball. He's a very good man, very good representative of DART. So number 1, I met a great new DART bus driver by the name of Mr. O. Jones. On 532, he formerly was an air traffic controller. Mr. Jones, 60-plus years old, showed me some great interpersonal skills and a great attitude. I strongly recommend that Mr. Jones become DART's driver motivational speaker, as DART is in great need of motivating too many drivers who have either negative attitude or who are obviously racist. And it is a systemic problem, just like the speakers before talk about the systemic problems with some of your DART police officers. You have racists as DART bus drivers. I'm not a racist, but I know a racist when I meet one. 2, DART call-in bus schedule, computer IT system is dysfunctional. As an example, I arrive at the bus stop 5 minutes before 1:19 p.m. It doesn't arrive, I call it 1:22. At 1:22, it says it'll be there at 1:55. Where did it go? And calling over and over again, there's no way for the IT system to say, well, it's going to be there at 1:35 or 1:40 or 1:45. It gives you the next bus that comes. I live 15 minutes from the bus stop, from the Royal Lane station, so I walk to Royal Lane. I've beaten the bus there a couple of times. And one time I encountered the bus driver, and I asked her, well, what happened? You're 25 minutes late. And boy, did I get an attitude. Another racist bus driver. Lastly, DART wants to put me in jail. I either pay $202 or they want to put me in jail because one of your bus drivers made a mistake. But that was carried even further. One of your DART police officers gave me a ticket because of the mistake of giving me a $2.50 regular ticket where he should have given me a $2.50 all-day reduced fare, and I have the senior citizen pass. I also have a stack of cards, about 400 of them, 500 of them as evidence. So it comes down to this. And Mr. Gamez, one of your attorneys, I spoke to him. 2 days later, he turned it over to your loss prevention, and I'm being played. So either pay now or pay later. I'm a very reasonable person, so I guess I'll see you in court. Thank you.
There are no further speakers, and we have no further business. This meeting is adjourned. We thank you all for coming.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We love comments. If you don't like the way Dart is handling things, lay it out for everyone to see. If you like or hate this video, tell us. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, tell us. We even love it when you call. Better yet, like or follow us on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube and get instant notices of all our videos the moment they are posted.